Yes, there would be a code violation. According to the National Electrical Code, Article 620.72, it requires that branch circuits supplying equipment used exclusively to operate elevators, dumbwaiters, escalators, and moving walks shall be supplied from a separate panel board or switchboard. Article 408.3. It permits the installation of non-elevator related equipment on an elevator panel board or switchboard only if it is a miscellaneous load and the following conditions are met. Firstly, the miscellaneous load is essential to the operation of the elevator or the safety of its passengers. Secondly, the miscellaneous load is not a load that is connected to a receptacle. And thirdly, the miscellaneous load is not a load that is switched via branch circuit breaker or fuse located on the elevator panel board or switchboard. In this case, the trash compactor feeds are not essential to the operation of the elevator or the safety of its passengers. Therefore, they cannot be installed on the elevator panel board. Here's a further breakdown of why installing trash compactor feeds on an elevator panel violates the National Electrical Code and what to do instead. Elevator systems are critical for building operation and require a dedicated power supply to ensure reliable and safe operation. The National Electrical Code, specifically Article 620, addresses the electrical requirements for elevators, dumbwaiters, escalators, moving walks, and similar equipment. One of the key requirements is that branch circuits supplying this equipment must be fed from a separate panel board or switchboard. This requirement is in place to prevent non-elevator related loads from interfering with the elevator's power supply and potentially causing malfunctions or safety hazards. Article 620.72 explicitly states that branch circuits for elevators, dumbwaiters, escalators, and moving walks must be supplied from a separate panel board or switchboard. This means that you cannot tap into an existing elevator panel to power other equipment, even if the panel has spare capacity. The intent is to isolate the elevator system from other loads that could potentially cause voltage fluctuations, power interruptions, or other electrical disturbances. There is a limited exception to this rule, as outlined in Article 408.3a, which allows for the installation of non-elevator related equipment on an elevator panel board or switchboard if it meets specific conditions. The equipment must be a miscellaneous load that is essential to the operation of the elevator or the safety of its passengers. Examples of such loads could include lighting within the elevator hoistway, ventilation fans for the elevator machine room, or control circuits for elevator safety devices. Additionally, the miscellaneous load cannot be a load that is connected to a receptacle, and it cannot be switched by a branch circuit breaker or fuse located on the elevator panel board or switchboard. These restrictions are in place to ensure that the non-elevator related load does not pose a risk to the elevator system's reliability or safety. In the case of trash compactor feeds, they do not meet the criteria for a permissible miscellaneous load on an elevator panel board. Trash compactors are not essential to the operation of the elevator or the safety of its passengers. They are separate pieces of equipment with their own power requirements and should be supplied from a dedicated circuit. Installing trash compactor feeds on an elevator panel would violate Article 620.72 of the National Electrical Code. This is because the trash compactors are not elevator-related equipment and should not be powered from the same panel board as the elevator. The solution is to install a separate panel board specifically for the trash compactor feeds. This panel board should be located in a convenient location near the trash compactors and should be sized to accommodate the load requirements of the compactors. The panel board should be fed from a dedicated feeder circuit originating from the building's main electrical service. By installing a separate panel board for the trash compactor feeds, you ensure that the elevator system is isolated from non-elevator related loads and that the trash compactors have a reliable power supply. This approach complies with the National Electrical Code and promotes electrical safety. To summarize, avoid connecting trash compactor feeds to an elevator panel. National Electrical Code Article 620.72 mandates that elevator equipment be supplied by a separate panel board, while Article 408.3 allows for limited exceptions for miscellaneous loads essential to elevator operation or passenger safety. Trash compactors do not qualify. Therefore, Install a dedicated panel board for the trash compactor feeds to adhere to code and ensure electrical safety.